Hi. Last time we talked about some of the factors that contributed to one being or having empathy towards others. And like today, you are going to talk about some of the factors that contribute to some people being cruel or being sadist, who rejoice when other people are suffering, who like causing problems or sadness to others. And now, what are some of these factors? Last time we said that the way uh, the way people are brought up contributes a lot to how they're going to behave or to become. And now today you are going to see people, children or people who are raised when they were neglected, when they were abused in the families whereby they were being abused, their parents never listened to them, they were never given a safe space to express themselves. Now these are people who like causing problems if care is not taken. Not all of them, because you can be brought up in such a chaotic environment, but if you discover that this is not what you want, you can still change. As I said, any behavior can be learned, relearned, or or unlearned. So it is possible someone can be good today, and when you meet him next year, they are not the people you knew. They have learned other weird behavior, or they have become good people. That's why I believe anyone can change into a good person. That's why I have never lost hope on humanity, because I believe anyone, if they put on in effort, they can change. Because I've seen people change under my watch. So it is possible people can change. We also talked about how the environment that you are in can change through peer pressures and so forth. And now let's go to how we were brought up, or how people are brought up, and their connection with them being sadists or cruel people, or with cruel behavior. Now, you'll find that people who are brought up, as I said, in chaotic families, whereby people used to just sabotage each other. If they're children, you must go and report so and so for you to be validated by your mother or your father. The father is quarreling here, the mother is quarreling here. There's no peace. For you to have something, you must sabotage your siblings for you to have it. So you grew up knowing that for you to have something, you must sabotage others, you must cause fear, you must manipulate people here and there. And so as you grow up, you become a student, you become an adult, and now you've grown with the same traits. So while you stay in the neighborhood, because you want people to validate you, you said now manufacturing stories about others. If it's these people, if they're found at the working place, these are people who will go spreading rumors against others. If they see someone is shining, they said manipulating, coming up with rumors, manipulative rumors to ruin people's character, to ruin people's traits, to ruin people's reputation, because that's the only way they know. For them to be validated, they must bring others down. They cannot climb the ladder unless they bring others down. That's what they were shown by their parents. And some parents go to the extreme whereby they even assign their children to watch over their spouses. You'll find there's a child who is watching over the mother to report to the father, another one watching over the mother to report to the mother, the father to report to the mother. Siblings are watching each other. Everyone is surviving for the fittest. For you to get something, you must give something. There was no genuine love. People learned just in a shoddy way. And so when they grow up, these are people who will be always gossiping against others. These are people who will always be causing pain, because they believe by causing other people's pain, them they'll be now enjoying. Some people enjoy through other people's pain. Now, these are people who lack empathy. They believe that people are either tools to leadership, tools to what they want to get, or they're an obstacle. Now, if these people find you to be an obstacle, what they'll do everything to remove you. If they're in politics, these are people who will go to the extent of killing others for them to lead. If they're in workspace, these are people who will make sure that they taint other people's reputation for them to be seen to be the best. If they're in churches, these are people who manipulate others against others. Now you'll be finding that people are viewing you as a she Jezebel. And you are wondering, why are these people doing this to me or to you? It's because there's this one person who have realized that you are maybe closer to the pastor or to mama pastor or people are just favoring you. And because they feel like they're supposed to be you're not supposed to be receiving that, they'll come up with a rumor to taint your character so that people look at you with different lens. You see, now some people have personalities, weird personalities. Some believe they're bigger, so everything good must be theirs. So if they're in a place, they're the ones who are supposed to be heard. They're the ones whose words is supposed to be the final word. So if they found out that you also have some wisdom, you can argue on the table, they see you as a threat. And so they'll do everything to make sure that you are brought down. They rejoice when people are falling down, when people are failing. These people, they'll never validate you. They'll never acknowledge you. If such a person comes from such a family, and maybe there are bosses, these are bosses who will always be having spices on the fence, watching over others. They don't believe that people can just be good, or people can just work without being followed. You see, although some people, they cannot work without being followed. Also, it depends on how they were raised or the environment they grew in. They grew in. Now, some people, they believe in some people have been rewarded by doing cruel things. You see, when they go and fight and they win, they're rewarded. Maybe they were in schools whereby the best person, the winner in the fight was awarded with praises. And these are people who becomes even goons out here. You see, they can even go to a certain leader and they tell him, you give us this amount, let us go and finish so, and they'll go and they'll do it without any remorse, because they thrive in making other people sad, bringing other people down. We'll also come to emotional regulation. Some people lack emotional regulation. When they hear even a rumor without investigating, you'll become their enemies. They don't know whether it is true. For them, they'll just make you an enemy out of nothing, and they'll start being cruel to you. They'll make sure you are the saddest person in that institution, in that church, in that neighborhood. That some of these people, they cause even others to shift from the neighborhoods because they are venom. Also, you cannot ignore genetics or biological influences. Have you ever heard history repeats itself, and that a mango fruit does not follow far away from a mango? Some people, they come from families that are very heartless. You will hear that the father killed someone, the mother used to do this, the aunt is this harsh. These people, when they say they'll kill you, and they say they'll beat you. And so when you grow up from such a family, you are supposed to be self-aware. Is this what I want to be? I'm hearing that this is the lineage thing. Do I want to be like this? Now, if you pride in that, you'll become like that. You'll find that you are the one who normally say that, me, I have anger issues. When I'm angry, I must do this. Instead of seeing that this thing you're carrying is a disaster and correct, you're priding yourself in it. These people are the ones who pleasure when they see other people suffering. A normal human being, when you see other people suffering, you are supposed to do what? You are supposed also to empathize with them. But the saddest people who have been in a very weird environment where there was chaos, people are fighting each other, there's no love, it was chaotic. These are people who do what? Who rejoice when other people are suffering. They find pleasure in that. And sometimes it does nothing to do with how you were brought up. So people can be brought up in good families and they decide to be bad people, and vice versa. So as a person, ask yourself, who am I? And what am I causing to other people? Am I a cruel person? Am I empathizing with people? And these are people of God. It's God who changes. It's Jesus Christ who changes people completely.